Hello again everyone, and welcome to this lesson for Livin On A Prayer by Bon Jovi. There's a strings pad to start the song, and then the bass guitar and the drums come in together. The sound on the drums is actually finger cymbals like these, but we can emulate that by playing up on the ride cymbal. That takes us straight into 12 bars of groove that's fairly straightforward. I'll play through 4 bars of it, and you can just loop these 3 times until the very end. So like I just said, the only change is the very end. In the 12th bar, there's a fill, and this is how it goes. That fill follows really closely with the belly synth part in the riff. And that's one great thing about this song, is that the drums follow lots of different instruments in the band, so it sounds like they're actually playing together and not just doing their own thing. Anyway, moving on, we're into the verses, and once again, they're pretty straightforward with just a couple of flourishes up on the hi-hats. We loop back through those 8 bars again, and although the groove is not exactly the same, the elements are the same, so I'll leave it up to you to kind of work out what you think sounds best. At the end of the second time around, there's just a little fill, and this is how it sounds. Simple yet effective, and we're going to use that fill a bunch throughout the song. That takes us straight into the pre-chorus. We're playing quarter notes on some open hi-hats, and this is how that sounds. I'll play those hits at the end one more time and count them out. Basically, they're each worth 3/16 notes, so it kind of sounds a little bit even, but it also has a little bit of a chop. It's not quite as even as a triplet. If I count it out, hopefully you hear what I mean. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. Moving on, we are into the chorus. We're going to take that up onto the ride. You could play it up on the bell if you want, but I don't have a bell on this electric kit, so let me break down the chorus for you now. At the end of that chorus, it's back into the riff and the drums just go back into a solid groove. Before the verse, there's another fill and it's basically the same as the one we played before, but I think we're going to leave the kickoff on beat 3. I always find it interesting how just leaving out one little note can create a little bit more space and a little bit more tension in the song, whether it's on purpose or not. After that, we are back into the verse, so you can use the same grooves that we used in the first verse. Then we go into the pre-chorus again, and then we're back into the chorus again, and the chorus this time is just a little bit different. There's a couple of extra ride cymbals, so I'll break down the 8 bars for you now. At the end of this chorus, there's a 2-bar tag and the drums just follow along with the lyrics like this. I couldn't exactly hear what's happening with those last 3 notes in that fill, and my snare drum doesn't have as much reverb on it as they did in the 80s. So you could play whatever you want. Snare drum first on kick, or just straight down the toms, whatever you think sounds good. From there, we're into the guitar solo, and this is another great example of the drums following along with what's happening in the band. So we're going to catch a couple of the hits in the guitar solo, just like this. At the end of that solo, we are back into half a pre-chorus, and the hits at the end of this pre-chorus fit into a 3/4 bar instead of a 4/4 bar. So we're just dropping one beat off and going straight into beat 1 again. I'll play it slowly and hopefully it makes sense. You probably already know how it goes just from listening to the song, but at least now you'll know the music theory behind it. From there, it's just choruses right to the end of the song. But there is one more thing that we should look at, and if you nail this, it'll make your bass player very happy every day of the week. It's another great example of how the drum part sort of listens to what's going on in the band and catches some of those rhythms. It comes up in the next 4 bars, and it's just a little pattern that goes like this. It sounds pretty simple by itself, but when you lock it in with your bass player, it's going to sound fantastic. I'll play through the next 8 bars of the chorus, and then from that point, it just starts to fade out, so you can keep playing as long as you want. Here we go, the last 8 bars of the song. And there we go, that's the drum part to Livin On A Prayer by Bon Jovi. It's a classic track, many covers bands have played it, so hopefully you can learn it and add it to your repertoire. Happy practicing, and I'll see you at the next lesson.